All right, guys, check it out. Dedicated 2-on-2 open ice challenge. Not many of these floating around out there. I was able to snag this for a cool 275 bucks, which is a hell of a deal in my opinion. And after I paid for shipping, I was into it about 700, which is about a pretty good price for something like this. So I can't complain. It's fully intact, or all original artwork. Nothing is going to need to be replaced. All it's going to need is some touch up here and there, as it is with most of these cabinets. The other side of this machine is phenomenal, but this side has some fading, which is why I'm starting off with this side. Maybe you can tell this side's a bit pink compared to how it's supposed to be red. But this side still has some color, of course. You can see the pinks and the reds. All of this stuff that's red should be a lot more red, and I'll show you the other side, what I'm talking about. But as you can see, overall it's in phenomenal shape as far as condition. Just a little bit of fading. I'd say probably a 15 to 20% fade, but still not that bad compared to most of these you see out there are completely white. So I'm not going to complain at all. And here's where we start to get to more of the fade. This should be red and not orange, but for what it is, it's still great condition. Of course, it has the problems around the edges, but nothing too severe. None of it all along the edge here. You can see, except for right here, all along this edge is great condition, great shape. Nothing really torn up about it. So, for all intents and purposes, this side is in great shape. I'd probably give it a 8.5 out of 10. Except for, if it wasn't for the fading, it'd probably be 9.5. And then the control panel, you can see the control panel. There's nothing wrong with any of the artwork or anything. I am scared to take the Lexan off because there's some spillage of some kind of stuff around player 3 start and player 2 start. So I'm scared to take this Lexan off here, because what's going to happen is that most likely the artwork will come off with the Lexan, just like it did on my WrestleMania and down here too. So I'm going to be real careful, especially around here, taking this off. If it starts to take the artwork with it, I'm going to have to stop and see if I can come up with some other way to salvage it without that happening. Luckily, it's not that bad. If it's just the marks around here that come off, I can most likely get it fixed up in Photoshop, just like I did with my WrestleMania. So it isn't that big of a deal, but it's going to be difficult if it does happen. It has the original instruction card. I haven't seen one of these before, so I may scan this and add it to the artwork library for all of us gamers. It does have the marquee, but the marquee is cracked right there from heat, and it's cracked right there from heat. But what I'm going to do is, there's a fix to this. Take these marquees out and put some clear packing tape over the back of it where it's cracked, and it'll fix that crack, keep it from getting worse, and make it nice and flat. So that's my game plan for this. I'm not going to replace the marquee. I'm just going to try and repair it with the packing tape. But the front of the control panel, you can see, is also faded real bad. All this slight pink area should be red, if I'm not mistaken. I could be, but I don't believe so. And then this side over here is, you can see this side is not as bad as that side. I'd say probably this is probably I don't know, 60% fade. The other side's about 80%. So this side is in a much better shape, as well as the artwork. The artwork is almost zero fade on this side. It's dirty, of course. I'll have to clean it up, but this side here almost has no fade whatsoever. And you can see the NHL is a lot better also. Maybe the camera isn't picking it up so well in the light, but this side's real faded compared to this side. This fluorescent light probably isn't doing it justice, but again, it's still in great shape. There's a little bit of a crack here. It looks like when they cinched it down with the strap, they may have actually cracked it, or it could just be a crack in the artwork. I'll have to get inside and look, but it's not that big a deal in my opinion. This side along the edge is kind of the same thing. It's in pretty good shape, except for this area right here and this right there. Otherwise, all along down here, it really isn't that bad. So after a real good rigorous cleaning, I'll get this all nice and cleaned up and touched up. It's good that a lot of it's red, and white, because I can touch up like this here. White, just simply get some white touch-up paint, touch that up, you know, and there's some gum right there. Flake that off, touch it up. Now there, it's already gone. Buff it off. So it's good that it's just generic whites and reds and blues. Real easy for touch-up. But overall, I'm real fortunate to find a machine that has that's not completely white on both sides. So as you can see, it's in pretty damn good shape. I'm just worried about the control panel, and I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. You can see it in action. The monitor is the original K7400. It needs a cap kit because I had to adjust the red, green, and blue pots on the neck board. I turned the contrast up and it was immediate bleed over, so I turned the RGB pots up and down to correct the bleed over in unison with the contrast. In unison with the contrast pot, I was able to get a nice, good looking picture. So it actually looks pretty damn good. I'm still going to throw a cap kit in there because of the bleed over. I'm going to try and get it looking a little bit better, but it looks fantastic the way it is. It's the original K7400, like I said. Maybe you can see it, maybe you can't, but there it is. And then the PCB is on the wall. It looks like the PCB has never been touched from the factory. It's been sitting there, same screw holes. Normally you can tell when a PCB has been removed or remounted or anything like that, because there's different holes, but there's no extra holes. It's all original mounted. It's even got the isolation block there around the video wires. I believe everything in here is 100% original. Nothing has been moved. All the holes are still there. There's no extra holes for stuff that's been changed over the years. So let me fire it up and you can see it in action. I'll give it a good cleaning here and bring it inside at some point. Let me turn the light out actually. The one thing I did notice about this monitor is that the corners are blurry. The most of the screen itself is beautiful, but the top corners on both sides are blurry. I mean, you can see there's the middle, and then there's the outside. It's not the camera makes it look like the convergence is off, but it's not. It's just blurry in the corners, and I don't know why. I'm hoping the cap kit would fix it, but it's most likely a tube issue. See, this is all nice and crisp. When you go to the outside, it's hard to really see it. Well, it says Western and Eastern, but in person, it doesn't look that bad on the camera, but in person it's kind of hard to read it. It's a lot more out of focus, but it's just it's like this area right there on both sides, but you know, no big deal really.
Welcome to tonight's matchup. The Mighty Ducks of Anaheim versus the Boston Bruins.
Alright, so that's it guys. 2-on-2 open ice. I'll get it all cleaned up and show it off when it's done. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.